hello and welcome inside Platt Arena. We're now on the air. It appears it's a 7-2 early advantage for St. Francis as Huntington's off to a cold start offensively. Preston Husband, Luke Pulver, these two sides meeting for the second time so far this season. Huntington on a 6-game win streak, looking to make it 7. And right now, Luke, still right in the thick of things for the Crossroads League title. Cushenberry has it for the Cougars, all-time leading scorer in program history. St. Francis going very small here tonight. Bailey's got it, drives in on Jordan. Jordan up in the air, deters the shot and grabs the board. Huntington a little sloppy right now offensively. Goodline wants a 3 in transition and has it.
Good to get things going there. They've been a little sloppy to start this one.
Back the other way, Bailey wants to push. Burke, top of the key, 3 is good on the home roll.
Huntington's got to get going on defense. Got too many open shooters out there right now.
And that's the issue right now, is this small lineup is getting a lot of open jump shots right now for the Cougars as they lead 10-5. Jordan out to Pulver. He tries his first shot of the night. No good. Burke with the board. Pace has been quick here for St. Francis with that smaller lineup. Cushenberry, who continues to lead them in scoring, has pushed the pace here so far for him. Here he is, top of the key, 3, no good. Rebound to Bailey. Cushenberry again, this time he's got it.
We got to keep up with them. They're shooting the ball well. They're doing exactly what they need to do, neutralizing our bigs.
Huntington down 13-5 now with 16 minutes left in the first half. Pulver to Hummerkaus. He's going to drive in, has Sy, throws it in, knocked away by Cushenberry. Chance for a double-digit lead here for the Cougars as they're going to have to slow it down. Cushenberry at 5'8", Jordan at 6'9", out on top of the key. And those two will absolutely battle it out all night. Cushenberry, one of the hardest guys to guard as he loses the handle here. Northern recollects, 6 on the shot clock, drives in, 15-foot range, nowhere to go. Now spins around and scores.
Playing small ball with them now, getting them out in the perimeter, and it's showing.
St. Francis is using that speed to get by these Huntington defenders right now. Finds himself up 10 with just under 15 minutes to go. Sparks working, coming off a 39-point performance with Jordan. Drives in, loses the handle, shoots it anyways, and Northern collects the board.
You got to get some better shots here in the paint against the small ball lineup.
Cushenberry, one of the fastest guards, as I mentioned, tries to push the pace again. Northern has it now, off to a good start, the freshman. Comes in averaging 9, and he's got a handful already tonight. Northern collects with 6 on the shot clock again. He's going to go to work. Top of the key, long 3, and it's perfect.
I'll tell you what, this lineup by St. Francis is a lot of fun to watch. They're just going down there and playing ball right now.
Right now it's a 13-point advantage as Coach Corey Alford's going to be forced to call a timeout. St. Francis has come out here swinging in the first half, and they have a 13-point advantage as Huntington's really going to have to battle back here. The small ball has not hurt St. Francis so far, Luke. It's really led to a lot of open jumpers here so far.
Yeah, when you're hitting shots and you got a small ball lineup, it's easy to get mismatches with the other team's bigs. They're doing exactly that right now. You see Lane and Jordan out on the perimeter guarding guys. It's not where you want them. You want them out in the paint. St. Francis doing a great job of neutralizing our big men and taking them out of their streaks.
Huntington is really struggled here offensively so far. Out of the gate, only shooting 25%, 2 of 8 from the field. As Henry Eyrick comes in along with Mitchell Wilson. Jordan took a seat with Hummerkaus. Goodline still out there with Sparks and Pulver. 18-5 early lead for St. Francis. Goodline has a 3. He's got the ball now. Over to Wilson. He's going to go back to work against McKeeman. Wing 3. Good again.
Goodline has 6 of her 8 right now, keeping us in this game.
St. Francis still up 10, 18-8. The small lineups working here as Northern goes in on Pulver. Pulver able to rip it away.
It's a great strip there.
Goodline wants to push that pace again. As you mentioned, 6 early ones for the All-American point guard. Sparks drives in through contact, up, no good, gets his own rebound, and Cushenberry able to knock it out of bounds, but the Foresters will maintain possession.
They're letting them play in the paint there.
That'll be our first media timeout as we are under 14 minutes here inside Platt Arena. St. Francis leads 18-8. We'll be right back on FDN Sports. Inside Platt Arena, St. Francis Cougars coming out hot here in this first half. Huntington beat them on the road in the first matchup. And so far tonight, St. Francis with an early double-digit advantage. And it's really been the guard play, of course, for St. Francis, because that's about all they've had on the floor so far. Brandon Northern with an early 9 points. Goodline inbounds from underneath his own basket. Sparks has it now. Goodline with a quick 6, two-man game with Pulver, nowhere to go with it. Sparks drives to the lane, Euro step, he's hammered, but instead it's gonna be called out of bounds. And with 7 on the shot clock, Huntington's gonna have to take it from underneath the basket again. Just nothing easy right now, Luke.
Yeah, no, they're letting them play tonight.
Eyrig has it, drives in, 4 on the shot clock, flips it up, hits nothing. And St. Francis able to get the rebound. Bailey's pushing the pace. McKeeman, the senior off to the graduate student Cushenberry in his 5th year at St. Francis. Now 10 on the shot clock. Northern goes to work again inside to Burke, and it's blocked by Eyrig, but they're going to call that one a foul, as that's going to be the first foul of the night on the Foresters. Now 1 on both sides.
St. Francis is shooting 80% from the 3 right now. It's going to be tough to beat a lot of teams shooting that well.
And now we've got a warning here for Sparks and Cushenberry, as those two have been going at it here early. That's not necessarily the most surprising between those two. Sparks is obviously a fiery competitor. Coach Lacrosse doesn't think his players said a word. And so we're gonna reset, as the first free throw there from Burke was good. Sparks is known to get a little chippy, but the same could be said with Cushenberry. And these two sides don't care for each other all that much. And it could be due to a 3-game winning streak from the Foresters against this side.
Very well could be.
Goodline back to work with Northern guarding him. Hummerkaus checks back in. As Huntington maybe matching a little bit of that small lineup. Goodline working on the freshman Northern. Nowhere to go with it. Hummerkaus 3 from the corner, rims in and out, and Northern grabs the board. No answers right now offensively for the Foresters. Cushenberry drives in, loses the handle as Eyrig stands tall defensively. Inside to Burke, doubled, back out to Cushenberry again. He's gonna have to go quick, goes in, he's fouled on the floor. And that'll be the 2nd team foul, and I believe that's gonna go on Eyrig as well. That'll be his 2nd of the night.
St. Francis is getting Huntington in a lot of mismatches right now. Maybe look at going to a 2-3, being able to, we're struggling keeping up with them in man right now.
And that's what's really forcing Coach Corey Alford to make some changes, as you see Jackson Paul and Joel Dyer coming in now. It's going to that smaller lineup for the Foresters as well, with Hummerkaus being the tallest one out there to keep up with the speed of the Cougars. 20-8, 12 minutes left in the first half. Cushenberry running the point. Northern already with 9, drives on Jackson Paul. Nowhere to go, has to go to Burke. 5 on the shot clock. Cushenberry about 30 feet out. Is going to have to post one way up, no good. And Paul rips down the board. Goodline wants to push again as he works against Northern. Sparks drives in, loses the ball, and it's going to be a jump ball as Northern rips it away, and that's going to go back to the Cougars.
They're really letting them play on this end. Lane's taking a beating down there right now.
Sparks so far struggling from the field. He's 0 of 5 after a 13 of 20 performance for 39 points against Marion. And you did not think that HU was going to struggle this badly offensively, but right now it's just going the Cougars' way as they're playing well on both sides. Jordan checked back in for Sparks, who takes a seat. Jackson Paul still in there guarding Cushenberry. Down inside, McKeeman wants to work on Dyer. He's got the size advantage, 10 on the shot clock. Burke, 3, top of the key, it rattles home. Similar message at halftime against Marion. Huntington really struggled to come out with that intensity, and right now they're going to have to wake up and try to get back into this game. Dyer wants a wing 3. It's good.
It's a big hit by the Australian there. Get us back on track here. Let's keep some momentum. We got to get some stops here.
12-point game now as St. Francis continues to get the looks they want offensively. Coach Lacrosse is actually his worst season here since joining the St. Francis coaching staff, you could say, as a head coach. He has been one of the most consistent coaches in all the Crossroads League, as Burke's got it again with 6 on the shot clock. Drives in on Jordan into the lanes, gonna have to throw it up. He does, and Jordan blocks it. Huntington has numbers if they want to push the pace. Goodline working on Northern, drives in. Jackson Paul, corner 3. He knocks it down.
Great production from the bench here coming out of that timeout.
Jackson Paul not known for knocking down the 3, just a 36% three-point shooter, but now he's got Huntington within that single-digit range. And that's going to force a timeout from Coach Lacrosse, as this has been a game of runs right now, and Huntington trying to continue to pull closer and closer, and this smaller lineup's had some success.
You mentioned Lacrosse having one of his worst seasons here in a while. It's tough coming in with a new team. It's a complete different strategy this year. Your tallest starter's 6'3". In this conference, you have to play a different style of game. It takes a while to get used to that. It takes a while for the players to buy in. It looks like they've done that now. They're playing great basketball.
This is his 13th season in charge. He's got over 300 career wins. And as I mentioned, he's been one of the most consistent coaches in the entire country. He's been to 4 Final Fours. He's won a national championship, and he's been to 2 others. So he, like a lot of these schools in the Crossroads League, continue to be very consistent year in, year out with the Indiana Wesleyans, St. Francis. I mean, Taylor's having a good year this year. Just so many good teams, and right now it's kind of up in the air for St. Francis. It's been a roller coaster ride, but they have beaten teams like Wesleyan on the year, and Huntington's going to have to pick up the intensity. McKeeman has it, 8 on the shot clock. Freshly into the game, Loudon. He drives. 3 ball here from St. Francis. No good. And that's going to be an over-the-back call on Loudon, as Johnson couldn't get his first try to go. So Huntington playing with a little more rhythm now on the defensive end as Dyer heads to the bench and Goodline steps back in.
Yeah, great minutes here by Joel, helping us get back on track here. That 3 set this game back in the motion we need it.
And Joel with that 3 is already at his average for conference play on the year. So anytime he can come in firing, that is super helpful for this Forester side. Culver, quiet early, swings it over Paul, who just hit a 3. He's going to have to work it all the way up top. 10 on the shot clock now for the Foresters. Deep in the clock here. Hummerkaus loses the handle. Inside contact and nearly gets the roll, but he will go to the line for 2 shots.
I think that's the key there. Keep getting in the paint. They're fouling every possession. Make them keep fouling. You make the referees call that there. Get to the free throw line, get a little momentum.
It's Loudon's 2nd on the night. Comes in graduate as well out of Avon, Indiana. He went to Avon High School, transferred from Northwood a couple years back, where he had a really solid career, trying to find his flow still offensively, as Humberkaus is short on the first. Huntington went to the line a ton over the weekend against Marion, as Bo Jacque is going to check in for the first time tonight as well. There's a little size at 6'8". He's only played in 19 games this season, 0 starts, also a freshman. So Coach Lacrosse having to go deep in his bench as well. Humberkaus knocks down the second, now just an 8-point advantage for the Cougars. A lot of game left, still 9 minutes left in the first half. 23-15, it's been a struggle so far offensively for Huntington as they try to get more stops on this side. St. Francis working with Cushenberry, the size of Humberkaus on him up top. 10 on the shot clock again. St. Francis going to have to go inside. Nice little move there as Ashton Johnson, another freshman, gets his first basket. 6'2", 210-pound strong kid. Went to Southside last year as Jordan saves a turnover there for the Forcers. Good line working on Cushenberry. Up through the contact, can't get it to go. And it's going to be a foul on Jordan as St. Francis is able to pull down the defensive board.
Huntington is struggling to get anything going here. St. Francis, credit to them, making it extremely difficult in the paint tonight. Something that I did not expect to see.
In the first game, Huntington put up 101 points and shot 65% from the field. So right now, a different story. St. Francis has been the team that's come out and shot it really well here so far. 60% and 5 of 8 from 3. 10-point advantage for the Cougs as they go back to work on offense. Inside to Burke, Pulver guarding him with the size. Burke with the speed. Gonna have to go back up top to Northern. Late shot clock again. 10 on it as Northern, the freshman, works. Up top to Johnson. He drives in on Sparks. Spins, gets Sparks in the air. Humberkaus got a hand on it, and Sparks rips down the board. He's gonna send it forward, and Pulver gets the easy lay-in.
It's a beautiful pass by Lane. Looks like a quarterback just dropping it in the wide receiver's pocket.
It seems like this crowd's still waiting to get that energy going right now. As Bailey's got it here on the left side, drives in, Northern's got it now. All the way up top, and Humberkaus with the steal. Huntington 3-on-3 in transition. Jackson Paul is ripped from behind. Turnover is a big part of Huntington's success really this year. They only turn it over around 10 times per game so far here early. They're piling it up here a little bit with already 5 early ones. Bailey has it in his hands, working on Paul. Nowhere to go with it, gonna have to go to Northern. 9 on the shot clock again. He's gonna pull up from way downtown, and Pulver rips down the board. So Huntington's stringing some stops together now. See if they can get it going on the offensive side. Paul out there with Goodline, who's got it now. He's gonna drive in, little 15-footer step backs, pure.
Beautiful play by Goodline down there.
He's going to have to start creating more of those shots, because right now the offense is getting a little stagnant, but he is a tough shot maker, as we've said all year long, and he gets one to go there. 6-point lead for the Cougars, 6:26 left. Burke and Bailey playing a little 2-man game, as Johnson has it now into Jacque, 6'8", freshman as well. Johnson now to Burke, 4 on the shot clock. Pulls up in front of Humberkaus, no good again, and the Forcers get another defensive stop.
2 possessions in a row. St. Francis takes a bad shot at the top of the perimeter. Huntington building a shell around the perimeter, making them win it from the 3-point line. That's what we need to do.
Huntington trying to get back into this one. They're down 25-19 inside Platt Arena. Crossroads League matchup. These two rivals only 25 minutes away. We'll be back in just 30 seconds. Crossroads League Wednesday. It used to be Tuesday the last few seasons, but we've changed things up here. And so far, it's been St. Francis's night. They're doing a great job offensively, just getting a lot of easy looks. For Huntington, though, starting to get some more stops, Luke.
Yep. Yeah, heading in the right direction for Huntington here. St. Francis taking a lot of bailout threes at the end of a long shot clock. It's good for Huntington.
Sparks back in the lineup with Joel Dyer, Zach Goodline, Ben Hummerkaus, and Hank Pulver, as there's only been 3 fouls on either side. It's been a physical game, but so far Huntington is just trying to get into that role offensively. Hummerkaus can be a big part of it, has it now through the lane and scores.
Great pick and roll action there by Hummerkaus and Goodline.
Huntington really just one stop away from getting this momentum back in their favor here inside Platt Arena. As Cushenberry drives in, thought about the shot, gets Sparks to fall and flips that one in. He's only 5'8", but man, his speed really causes issues, as he's averaging 18 per game, and he's got another basket there on that one. Same play here, Hummerkaus this time from 3 is good.
5 points out of the timeout. Big time plays there by Hummerkaus.
Hummerkaus has really come up big against some conference opponents this year. The previous game between these two sides as Northern goes through the contact from Goodline, and he's going to head to the line for 2.
Yeah, St. Francis struggling here. Once we're starting to get paint points, it gets that much harder to defend the perimeter, get a little inside-out action here, keep them on their toes.
Northern has a season high 23 versus Goshen this year, already up to 9, make it 10. Comes in averaging 9 points per game, a good impact freshman. Last year as a senior in high school averaged 25 points per game along with 6 assists. So someone that can get it done and someone that the Foresters probably don't want to see for the next 4 years.
He's getting a lot of time now and starting to figure things out towards the latter part of this conference play. He's playing very good basketball right now.
Knocks down both. He's the game leader with 11. For the Foresters, it's Goodline with 8, Hummerkaus with 6. Zane Burke's got 8 for St. Francis as he checks back in now. Pulver will take a seat. Mitchell Wilson joins the lineup.
One matchup I always wanted to see after watching St. Francis this year is Ija and Landon, 2 of the most athletic players I've seen Crossroads play.
Sparks has it now, drives in, tough shot again. This time it's good, his first field goal of the night. He's someone that is never afraid to shoot it. Even on his toughest shooting nights, he can still get it going. Northern working on Sparks now. A little crossover through the lane. Looked like he traveled, and instead it's knocked out of bounds, but there to give it back to the Foresters was McKeeman.
Yeah, great defense by Lane there. Try to keep Northern out of the paint. That's where he's been making his money tonight. Make him shoot the 3 ball.
And the mid-range game is not something that Coach Alford is necessarily fond of typically. He wants 50% of his shots coming from 3, most of the other ones coming from around the rim, but Lane Sparks, as Hummerkaus wants his second 3, and he's tied it up.
Hummerkaus with the energy right now.
But Sparks with that mid-range game's been phenomenal all year long, but right now it's Hummerkaus filling it up for the second time on the Cougars. Cushenberry with Dyer on him, drives in, throws it up through the contact and scores it. Might be 5'8", but he is strong in there, and him and Joel Dyer, a good matchup to watch.
He's an All-American for a reason.
Hummerkaus is on his personal run here as Sparks goes in, spins through, contact again, can't get it to go, and he's trailing the play now as Cushenberry pushes. Inside Burke, easy lay-in.
Yeah, Lane just not getting the calls right now in the paint.
He shot 11 free throws at Marion. So far tonight, 0, and he's 1 of 7 from the field. Goodline works now against Cushenberry, 2 All-Americans. Step back 3, right wing is good again.
Goodline's having a heck of a night, just playing consistent ball right now.
That's his shot. That little step backs worked for him all year long as Huntington's pulled within 1. 3 minutes left in the first half. Cushenberry wants to work again. Lots of contact, and it's an offensive foul.
Yeah, it's about time. There's been a lot of pushing off down on the other end of the court there.
Not usually a matchup you think you see. 5'9" Joel Dyer and 5'8" Cushenberry as he picks up his first foul, but he did use that little forearm shiver a couple times, and Huntington's got a chance to finally take their first lead of the night. Goodline, who's hot, has it now, drives in, floater, and this one's an offensive foul.
Cushenberry did a great job of getting set, made sure he was out of the circle. It was a great defensive play there by Cushenberry.
That's Goodline's second as him and Cushenberry share a word. So Goodline's got to be careful not to pick up that third before halftime. Coach Alford's going to stick with him. Northern brings it up. He's joined with Johnson, who's back in there. Cushenberry wants to work on Dyer again. Here he goes through the lane, up, no good. And the rebound falls to Burke. He sends it up, wild shot, no good. Here comes Goodline in transition. Sparks, transition three, no good. Hummerkaus up, in!
Right place at the right time. Ben's having a heck of a first half here.
34-33, Foresters lead after a really tough start. Back ahead of the Cougars. Looking for their 7th straight win tonight. It's not been pretty so far, but any way you can get it done, you'll take it. Burke up top and a foul inside on Goodline, and that's going to be his 3rd foul now, and he surely is going to have to take a seat.
That's not a very consistent call. That's a tough one on Goodline. 3, he's out. He's got to even be very cautious in the second half.
With 2 minutes left, the leading scorer in the conference, Zach Goodline, is going to have to take a seat for the remainder. And we'll see how much he's, involved in that second half on the defensive end as well. He's got to be careful as he's the 2nd leading scorer right now for the Foresters tonight. Cushenberry working on Jackson Paul. Now Burke with the size on Dyer. Nowhere to go though. Inside Johnson. Can't find it. Now it goes to Northern. Euro step, scores before the buzzer, and that shouldn't have counted, and it doesn't.
That was a tough call. It's hard to see that one without replay. I couldn't quite tell from where I'm at what a call was there, but tough one there for the refs.
Huntington dodged the bullet as they still keep that 1-point lead, but once again, without Goodline in the lineup, it's Paul Wilson, Dyer, Sparks who needs to get going. Has it now inside, up, and in! He's just too strong down there for those guards. As he's really been committed to the weight room, he's got a breakaway now. It's just him and Cushenberry, lefty in, and he gets it to finish.
Gotta get back.
Burke back the other way, Hummerkaus, and he's unable to deter the shot as Burke gets another basket. 38-35, Huntington advantage with 1 minute left in Platt Arena. First half, high-flying game. Paul drives in now, outside Dyer, his 2nd 3 of the night's perfect!
Attaboy there, mate!
The Aussie getting it done here tonight as he continues to knock down the 3-ball, and now Huntington a 6-point advantage.
It's great to see Joel playing good. Great kid, plays his butt off every night.
Hard worker, as Coach Alford would explain, as Cushenberry works inside. Northern thinks about a wing 3, only 8 on the shot clock now. Antoine with it. Working on Dyer, right side, spin move, throws it up, blocked by Dyer, and another shot clock violation.
Joel's not doing it just on one end. He's guarding an All-American on the other end. Heck of a couple possessions there by Joel.
You want to guess how many blocks Joel Dyer has on the year?
Is that his first?
1.
There you go.
His first one of the year, but he's got 2 big 3-balls tonight, and that's the difference as Huntington's up 41-35, and Coach Alford's going to draw up one final set to see if they can stretch that lead a little more into the locker room.
It's exciting second half there of the first half. We've held St. Francis to about 10 points from the 10-minute mark. Looked like they were going to put 50 up on us there in the first half. Huntington doing a better job on defense, and it shows with how the score is looking right now.
You look at this team right now, they're currently number 18 in the nation. That is the highest ranking in school history since the NAIA has gone to just one division. And in bracketology, if you pay attention to those things, which talking to Coach Corey Alford, he loves bubble talk, he loves bracketology, he loves all that. Huntington's either a 4 or 5 seed right now.
Yep.
If you somehow sneak through this one, you've got Mount Vernon and then Goshen, who's in last place in the league. You've got a chance to keep making your way up. And one of his goals coming into this season was to host the Crossroads League tournament game, and they've nearly got that wrapped up. If they win tonight, they will have that wrapped up.
Yep. Yeah, it'd be a great atmosphere here in Platt Arena for a home conference game, something that we haven't seen in quite a while.
And of course, Coach Alford's father, Steve Alford, the legendary Hoosier, is now coaching in Nevada, and he made a little joke with me yesterday and said, I've got Bubble Watch off my radar this year compared to Nevada, but they're coming off a huge win last night at Steve's old stomping ground. They went on the road and beat New Mexico, so they continue to build their resume. Right now, Corey Alford in the Foresters' resume is looking pretty good as well. 41-35, Foresters' advantage after a slow start. And Zach Goodline on the bench with 3 fouls in this first half. Huntington can hold for the last possession. Sparks working with it. Here comes the double and ripped away. Northern. Cushenberry back the other way. Jackson Paul tries to block, can't do so. 3 on the clock. Dyer's going to have to throw up a prayer, and it's no good. So Huntington will lead 41-37 into the half, and the little double team action there, blitzing that ball screen, turns Sparks over and has the Cougars back within 4. We're going to take a short break as Huntington went on a nice run to end that first half, up 41-37. Preston Husband, Luke Pulver will be back with some stats and some scores around the league after this short break. You're listening to Huntington University Hoops on FDN Sports.
We continue our halftime tradition at all home H2 basketball games this season. Every H2 student in attendance receives a white ticket, and then one winning ticket is randomly drawn, giving that student a chance to win $2,000
Welcome back inside Platt Arena, a high-flying game here so far, 41-37. It was a back-and-forth first half, Luke, between these two sides, but Huntington with a nice run, an 8-2 run to end the half that put them above the Cougars right now by 4 points. They had a 6-point advantage. The turnover a little costly at the end of the half, but Coach Alford's got to be pleased with that second half of the first half effort.
Yep, I would agree with that. Both teams right now playing terrific basketball. This is a fun Wednesday night Crossroads game to watch. Both teams shooting in the 50s from the field and field goals. Both teams shooting in the 50s from the three-point line. This is going to be a great rest of the game here going forward. And
we thought the size advantage from the Foresters was going to be the key, but really it wasn't. Huntington knocks down 8 three-pointers in that first half, so it's been the three ball that's really kept them in the game.
Yep.
Joel Dyer coming off the bench with 6 points, and then you've got Goodline, who's 3 of 3 from 3. And Hummerkaus goes on that little run. You find yourself right back in the game, and you feel good about where you're sitting right now.
Yep, oh, I would agree with that. I know we're getting a lot of our buckets here from the three, but I think we still want to continue to try to get those paint looks, continue to spread the floor, and open up shots for our three-point shooters.
And some of those inside scorers, like Hummerkaus, who gets inside, he shot the ball well with 2 threes, leading the Foresters with 11. Goodline also has 11. And both of those guys playing very efficient. Someone who's usually efficient, Lane Sparks, 3 of 10 from the field. And we've seen him have some of those tough shooting halves, but he comes out, he still has that killer instinct and could drop 20 on you in the second half.
Comes out firing.
Zach Goodline continues to play like a Crossroads League Player of the Year, absolutely a first teamer, as he was last year as well. But it's been the cast behind him as well here tonight. Jackson Paul knocked down a 3. That's not something you ask out of Jackson Paul, to come in and knock down 3 balls. You want him in there playing solid defense, getting stops, and for a while that was really tricky for the Foresters. They put it together defensively. They're the 5th best defensive team in the Crossroads League this year. And early in the year, Coach Alford would admit it. They're giving up 90, 95, and scoring 89 to 90 points, and just could not beat teams because their defense was not getting enough stops. Now, the script is flipped after that home game against Grace, I think, was that turning point, and now they're on a 6-game win streak.
Yes, sir. For St. Francis tonight, Northern and Burt having a terrific game. They're complimenting Cushingberry extremely well. It's exactly what they need for the remainder of this game. They're not one-dimensional tonight with Cushingberry like they were earlier in the season when we played them. It's going to be tougher on us defensively.
Both teams with 6 turnovers, so Huntington's goal offensively every game is to keep it under 12. I'm not sure Coach Alford's going to make it over here. Sometimes forgetful, but we can't blame him because he's in obviously a really stressful situation right now. He talks about the stress of coaching and staying engaged and staying focused, and we're probably not going to have it, but we'll definitely make sure to get him after the game. Right now, we'll take you through some of those thoughts that Coach Alford had. The win streak right now, it all started on that defensive side. The intensity went up. The focus has always been there, he told me. These guys love watching film, and they go to the film room, and they make sure to make that an emphasis. But then it was bringing that intensity and adding in those attention to details and practice that have taken them to that next level. And there's so many things that Coach Alford has done. He's 58-28 overall in a little under 3 seasons. He's looking to go to his 2nd straight NAIA tournament, which the last time the Foresters did that was 2006 and 2007, back-to-back NCAA tournaments. So that is just a big deal, and he's building a winning program once again, and we love to see it.
Yep, yeah, and you can tell the program's continually getting just a little bit better each year. Turning over a program like he has doesn't happen overnight. Season by season, they're getting better. You mentioned attention to detail. The further you get in developing a program, the more you can focus on those details, because the general concept of how you want to build your team, the strategy you want to play with, the style you want to play with, the attitude, it's already there. So now we can start getting detailed with the nitpicky stuff inside the game.
And as you see on your screen, we want to thank our sponsors really quick. Just several on your screen right now. Brotherhood Mutual, Pippa State Bank, Farmers Insurance, Larry Elliott, FCI Construction, Pizza Hut, Salsa Grill, Joe Yak's favorite, Nove, First Federal Savings Bank, and the Ness Brothers, and several more on the screen. So if, Joe, you're listening tonight, I haven't used the Australian wonder yet, but if Joel Dyer continues to shoot it like he did in the first half, I might have to pull that out of your bag of tricks. Of course, the father of Jared Yak, who's done a tremendous job, and that's someone else that Coach Alford gives a lot of credit to, is his staff. He said that Jared and Coach Strom do better than anyone in the nation preparing their guys for the defensive matchups, their offensive sets, and just finding ways to continue to push this program and team to the next level. But right now, we're ready to roll here in the second half as Hummerkaus is going to inbound it to Goodline, and we'll see if the Foresters can close out this game. Sparks with that tough shooting half gives it off to Hummerkaus. They're going to continue to double. Sparks has it, drives in, through the contact, can't go. Jordan nearly with the O-board, but instead Bailey's got it. McKeeman tries a three from the wing, no good. Hummerkaus board.
That's one player tonight's been extremely quiet is Dan. Expect him to get going from three here shortly.
Cushenberry in transition gets the easy finish as Goodline's trying to avoid that fourth foul. Smart decision by the senior point guard.
Very smart play. No hand there at all. Doesn't even give the ref the opportunity to make the call.
And on that last play, Northern sneaks in from behind and gets his second steal of that variety tonight. Lob up to Jordan, and Cushenberry is just running through him there, and that'll be Cushenberry's second foul of the night.
Yeah, great action there. Get some looks for Jordan inside.
He's been quiet as of late, but he started the conference here with such a bang. He had 11 points and 15 boards along with 3 blocks the last matchup against the Cougars. He's got it now. Pulver's got the size inside, and he gets it now as he goes to work. Southpaw hook shot, no good. Burke with the board.
Yeah, it's a good mismatch there in the post. Just couldn't get it to go there.
Cushenberry pushes it back the other way as Huntington leads 41-39. They were in a big hole in that first half, fought all the way back. Northern shoots a wing three over Sparks, in and out. Goodline with the board. Foresters continue to push the pace as Cushenberry plays good D there, and nearly another foul on him. All-American versus All-American in between the circles with 15 on the shot clock. Cushenberry all over him, behind the back pass, cut from Pulver, inside, contact, no call. Bailey pushes all the way the other way, and Jordan's gonna pick up a little touch foul as there was more contact on the other side on the Pulver shot, but Jordan's gonna pick up his second.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the consistency there, but got to continue to play through that physicality on the other end.
Pulver unable to finish on that one, but really bumped off his drive as Huntington still remains up 2 points here in the second half. They've really let them play on both sides tonight. I will give them credit for that, but at some point, we'll see if those whistles tighten up. Inside, Burke is fouled, and now that's Goodline's fourth.
Yeah, he's just got to be smarter than that in that situation. I mean, I don't know. What do you do here? Do you take him out till about 10 left? He's got one more to give, and he's out. You're All-American, you're leader of your team. Need him on the field, or the field, court, excuse me.
Goodline is going to walk over to the bench, and Jackson Paul's going to have to come in as up and through. Burke with the first. Right now, Huntington feels like they're getting the raw end of the whistle, as probably as much contact on the other side as Burke is able to get to the free throw line instead. Sends up the second, rattles in and out. Sparks with the defensive rebound. The fans are really going to start getting into this one here. Sparks goes in, more contact again, can't finish, and Sparks keeps it in bounds, but Burke's there to get it. Bailey pushes the pace. Cushenberry, a transition three is perfect.
This is a great opportunity for Huntington here. Facing a little adversity with the best player out here. You got to figure out how to win this one.
Sparks continues to get a lot of looks, but they're tough looks. As Paul's running the point now with Hummerkaus, Sparks, Mitchell Wilson, and Hank Pulver out there. It's going to have to be some of the guys off the bench tonight. Dyer's already done it. Pulver has it inside, back to Wilson. First shot of the night, it's good.
Had phenomenal bench production tonight from our shooters off the bench, helping us stay in this game and continue pace.
It's really hard to play without probably the front runner for Crossroads League Player of the Year, but that's something that you have to work through. We talked about that in the Indiana Wesleyan game that we had, those tough ways to win.
Yep.
Mitchell Wilson, Joel Dyer, and Jackson Paul so far tonight have really provided a spark off the bench. And Mitchell Wilson has really been on a roller coaster ride this year. He's the all-time leading scorer at Columbia City, who is home to guys like Doug Scheckler, both the Hazen brothers. You have just several amazing players that come there, and Mitchell Wilson is on top of that list, only averaging 5.5 points per game, 3 in the Crossroads League, but nothing bigger than that tray right there.
This is a great opportunity for Huntington here with conference play and the national tournament coming up. You have to figure out a way to get it done without your best player. It'll help condition these guys for the long journey we have ahead here.
And Huntington went small in that second half against Marion as well. Pulver was rotating in and out with Jordan, and they went small and were able to find a way with some guys off the bench there, so we'll see if they can have the same success tonight. Burke wants to go to work against Sparks. Cushenberry, corner 3 from McKeeman, and that's good as well.
And St. Francis is back to how they started the first half, making shot after shot after shot here.
Good ball rotation there as Cushenberry finds the open man. On the year, Cushenberry only 3 assists per game, picks up an easy one. Huntington back the other way. It's going to have to be a lot of Sparks, Hummerkaus, and maybe Pulver. Hands it off to Paul. He has his second 3 of the night.
The big time shot there, Jackson Paul.
Jackson Paul with a little bit of an unorthodox shooting stroke, but right now it's working as Huntington's back ahead by 1. Northern works inside on Paul, back to the basket, skip pass. Cushenberry thinks about a 3. Instead, it's top of the key, long 2, I believe, and the rebound's down off the miss to Sparks. Paul's pushing the pace again. He goes in, and it's going to be an offensive foul as that is simply a tough break for Jackson Paul.
Yeah, I don't know what else you can say about that in a polite way.
That is just brutal for the Foresters, and just sliding over. McKeeman was not there in time, as I just saw it here on the screen in front of me. And instead of a bigger advantage for the Foresters, that's the 3rd team foul, the first on Jackson Paul. And we'll head to the under 16 media with the Foresters leading by 1. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back inside. Now a rowdy Platt Arena as the Forester faithful are upset with the officiating right now. 19 fouls on the Foresters compared to 5 on St. Francis for the entire game so far. So we'll see if, like I said, those whistles start to become more of a factor in this game, and hopefully it doesn't take over the game. But for Huntington, they've got to find a way to keep it going offensively. Right now on the defensive side, Northern works against Sparks as he's going to try backing down lane once again. Dribbled by McKeeman's lost, back to Northern. Drives in on Sparks, nothing there. Corner, McKeeman drives in, layoff, Burke, easy left-hand finish.
St. Francis just has great ball movement right now. They're moving the ball terrifically.
A really good back cutting there by McKeeman, getting himself open. Excuse me, that was Burke there with the easy lay-in. Right now, Huntington's still trying to find their go-to guy. Sparks might be just him as he lays it in. Sparks can get it going. You do not want to see many shots go through the net if you're a Cougars fan, and another touch foul this time goes against Pulver.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. Huntington's having a tough break. You got to continue to play through this adversity here.
Pulver picks up his first, now the fourth already on the Foresters with 15 minutes left in the game. Huntington still leads by 1 as nearly a 5-second call there. Burke's going to work on Pulver. Cushenberry continues to be very efficient here tonight, has Pulver on him, little mismatch with the fast guard off the dribble. Burke inside, an inch taller than Sparks, now wants to go to work into Hummerkaus, all the way to Northern, corner 3, and it rattles home.
And St. Francis hitting all their shots right now. It's going to be tough to compete with that. Still only down 2, still in this ball game here.
Huntington gonna need an answer offensively. Zach Goodline on the bench with 4 fouls here tonight. Wilson works it all the way to Pulver, now Sparks. Hummerkaus in the mid-range area to Jackson Paul, thought about a 3, drives in, 15-footer contested, no good, and Pulver gets the board, but they're gonna call this on the floor, but a nice play there by Pulver, keeping that possession alive.
Yeah, he got good position down there, right where he needed to be.
Sarcastic applause from the Foresters fan behind us.
Judd Pulver putting a heck of a performance up there in the stands today.
Jackson Paul all the way up top to Wilson. He wants it off the dribble, nowhere to go. Sparks inside, flips up the floater, no good, and McKeeman rips down the board, and Sparks picks up a foul 94 feet away from the basket.
Yeah, that's just a foul you can't commit. You're not getting the calls you want anyways. A little bit of a frustration call there. Get back down the other end, play defense, and go on.
And Sparks might be frustrated because he's 4 of 14 right now. So a usually really efficient scorer comes in. The 5th leading scorer in the conference is just a sophomore. Shoots 43% from the field, but even better than that at 56% in Crossroads League. Right now, just struggling to find any type of answer in his offensive game. Cushenberry inside, and another foul called as Wilson is going to pick this one up reaching.
You know, one of the biggest takeaways I have from this half is Dan McKeeman is playing a lot better ball. He's shooting the ball 2 for 3 on the threes this half, spreading the floor even more for them here.
And Goodline's going to come in now with 13:45 left. Joel Dyer in as well. Pulver and Sparks takes a seat. So only 1 foul away from Goodline being disqualified. An easy steal here from Wilson. Huntington a chance to tie or take the lead. Goodline's got to be careful on both sides here as Hummerkaus, Wilson, Jackson Paul are in there, and finally a touch foul now on St. Francis, this time on Burke. This could get chippy down the stretch between these two sides.
Yeah, it's getting there.
It's definitely being fueled from the crowd as well. So Hummerkaus, Goodline, Paul, Dyer, and Wilson. And Burke, Northern, Cushenberry, Bailey, and McKeeman out there for St. Francis. Jackson Paul drives in along the baseline, inside to Wilson, nowhere to go with it. Back to Paul, and it's ripped away. St. Francis pushes ahead with Bailey. He's working on Hummerkaus, has to send it out to Northern. Northern gets Goodline in the air, and this is going to be a block this time on Jackson Paul. Count the basket.
Definitely moving there. Just got to stay put, make him go around you.
That foul is going to go on Paul, as I mentioned. That's his second. And now it's a 2-point advantage. I think it should be a 4-point advantage, as it now shows that on the scoreboard for the Cougars. Huntington needs to get back in that same flow they had offensively to end the first half. Right now, Northern's doing a lot of the work for the Cougars. He's got 14, and short on the free throw. Sparks with the board as Huntington goes back the other way. St. Francis, a bottom 4 team in the conference this year, so Huntington needs to take care of business at home here tonight. Dyer looks for Sparks, nothing there. Goodline all the way on the right wing, 9 on the shot clock. Hummerkaus inside. He has the size, out to Dyer, loses the handle, now to Paul. 3 on the shot clock, gonna have to force, and he loses it, and it's a shot clock violation.
Great defense by St. Francis there. On-ball defense, they've really been at it this half.
10 turnovers now for the Foresters, as they are one of the best teams in the country taking care of the ball. And right now, it's just a battle between these two sides, and Huntington trying to get back into that same flow they had to end the first half. Northern inside to McKeeman. He wants to work on Goodline with 4 fouls. He does and can't get the finish. Sparks pulls it down to Huntington, a chance to cut into the lead. Paul goes baseline and he scores it. What's the foul?
It's a great take. Surprised to see the call there, but a man one. Come up here. They Pullman will hit this free throw. This is something that can get us back on track in this ball game.
That might be that one play you're looking for out of Jackson Paul to get you back on track. An easy basket plus the foul. If you can finish the free throw back within 1, the Foresters are trying to get back into this game. Northern's going to take a seat, just his first foul of the night, but he's been their best offense for the Cougars. Leads the team with 16 now. Paul has 8 on the night, sends up the first and only misses it. Cushenberry with the board. That was only the 3rd free throw for the Foresters tonight, now just 1 of 3. Bailey working on Goodline, over to Burke, wide open 3 from the wings, off the rim, and the rebound to Sparks. Huntington a chance to tie or take the lead. Hummerkaus trailing, thought about that 3, couldn't get the handle, and Goodline will go back to work now. Drives left side, step back, 15-footer, thought he was fouled, didn't get the call, and now St. Francis gets to push. McKeeman through the lane, up with the left hand and good.
Yeah, Huntington just struggling to get into a flow. Game just isn't coming easy right now. Got to find a way through this here.
That's usually a shot that Goodline is very consistent on, but Bailey able to stop him as Goodline thought he was hit on the elbow. 7-4 in fouls here. Huntington already putting St. Francis at the line with any foul the rest of the way with under 12 minutes remaining as Coach Lacrosse takes a 30-second timeout. Huntington just needs to continue to keep their emotions in check and just see if they can find a way to get back into that rhythm offensively. We saw them come and really throw a big punch at the end of that first half. Went on that 8-2 run, feeling good. You come out here in the second half, and now St. Francis has turned it back up on the offensive side. Goodline still in there with those 4 fouls. Dyer, Sparks, Hummerkaus, and Jackson Paul as Pulver will check in at the next dead ball. Huntington's got to get something going here in this second half to try to beat the Cougars. Goodline to Jackson Paul. He wants another 3, and he's got it!
Big time game from him. He's stroking the ball tonight.
If you continue to get that production from Jackson Paul, your team takes that next leap as well and gives your guys some breaks. So Jackson Paul with his season high already tonight. Cushenberry inside on Goodline, blocked by Hummerkaus. Goodline wants to run with Dyer, wing 3, good!
Woo! Good day, mate!
The Australian Wonder has it working tonight in Platte Arena, and the Foresters are back ahead.
The bench production tonight has been phenomenal for Huntington.
Cushenberry working on Dyer. They're still trying to get that foul on Goodline. Johnson drives in. Burke top of the key. Cushenberry 3 ball over Dyer. No good. And Sparks with another defensive rebound. Huntington a chance for a little bit of a swing here. Goodline from the parking lot. Can't get it to go, but Sparks cleans it up.
Great hustle play. It's the little things that win you the big games.
Sparks not his best night, but he finds ways to make big baskets. The Huntington crowd on their feet now. Can the Foresters find a way to get one more stop, up 4 points, 10 minutes left in the contest? McKeeman with Paul on him to Burke, nowhere to go, now drives in, sends it up in an easy finish as Goodline had to back off once again. Goodline goes to work offensively, nothing there, loses the handle, and Burke has it, and Dyer's gonna pick up a blocking foul at half court, and that's gonna be a foul that sends Burke to the free throw line for a 1-and-1.
Yeah, the game's being controlled too much from calls here. We just need a good flow like the first half. Let the boys play out there.
Goodline has yet to get many calls here tonight. He typically goes to the free throw line a ton. He went to the line 14 times over the weekend. He has been there 0 times here tonight.
For Goodline, it's tough out there when you got 4 fouls at the beginning of the second half. It's hard to get anything going. You're playing conservative, you're passive. It's hard to get in a rhythm.
Burke knocks down the first, brings the Cougars back within 1. Goodline hasn't been able to get all those shots up either. Only 7 attempts tonight as Burke ties it now 59-59, under 10 minutes left in Platt Arena. Huntington 11-2 at home, averaging 86 points per game. They might not get there tonight. Going to have to win in a little uglier manner. Culver looks to get his offense going. Dyer wants another 3, and he's on fire!
Beautiful shot by the mate.
Dyer coming off the bench and knocking it down here tonight has Huntington back up 3. Johnson works inside out there with Loudon as well. Northern now with the ball. Burke inside to McKeeman. Goodline can't foul. McKeeman up, switches hands, finishes with the left.
Yeah, he's in a tough spot there. Can't foul. Just got to stay straight up. Lose all your leverage there.
Still 9 minutes left, and Huntington's best player with 4 fouls has to continue to be careful on the defensive side. Culver finally finds Goodline up around the circle. He's going to go to work here with 10 on the shot clock against Northern. Drives in through contact, foul, and finally the call after Goodline will now head to the line for the first 2 times on the evening.
Yeah, it's surprising for a guy that gets as many paint touches as he does.
Goodline on the year, as you mentioned, only 6'1", 185, but he gets in the lane nearly better than anyone else in the conference and usually finishes through that contact. And when he gets here, he's very good, 89% free throw shooter, and misses the first. He was 13 of 14 from the line, had 27 points on 10 shots against Marion over the weekend.
Yeah, that's great efficiency coming from him there.
Joel Dyer now the leading scorer for the Foresters here tonight with 12 points. Goodline sends the second up and makes it, as Henry Eyrig's trying to check into the game and will do so. And coming out is Goodline with those 4 fouls. And one of the officials came over and was saying something to one of the scorers at the bench, and the Huntington staff is not saying anything at all. So it's the same official that's been doing it all night long. He continues to want to really put himself in the center of the game, and sadly for him, a lot of these people didn't pay to come watch the officials here tonight. They're trying to watch these 2 sides go back and forth.
Yeah, I think you said that about as well as you could.
So we'll see if he continues to get his money's worth tonight. We know the fans are here to watch these 2 sides play. I think Coach Lacrosse and Corey Alford would agree. And finally, an offensive foul, the 6th on St. Francis. And the same official's now going to get an earful from Coach Lacrosse.
Yeah, bad calls going both ways. Just let the boys play. Let's have a good game here, you know?
That's Northern's 3rd, all in the second half, 63-61 advantage, 8:30 left. Huntington gonna need to close this one out to stay right there in the fight for the Crossroads League. Sparks drops the defender and drops the 3!
Wow! Dropped him on his back!
Huntington a 5-point lead as Sparks has Platt Arena back on their feet. Northern working against Pulver. Inside, another body call, and Northern's going to go to the line for 1-1.
The lefty is extremely smooth with the ball. He's shown it all year. That play showed it again.
Sparks, as I mentioned, not his best night offensively, but just like that game against Indiana Wesleyan, he struggled all night long, hit a contested 17-footer, and still found a way to make big baskets down the stretch, as he's doing again tonight. Sparks with the three is the third Forrester in double digits, as Northern, usually reliable from the line, misses that first one. Huntington a chance to gain their biggest lead as they had in the first half. Sparks to Hummerkaus. Goodline has it now with those 4 fouls still on offense. Goodline surveying. Hummerkaus thought about a long one. He's going to have to bring it out. 7 on the shot clock. Forrester's going to have to force. Goodline finally gets the call there, a block, and that should put the Forresters in the bonus as well.
Great job by the refs there. They called the same thing on both ends. Didn't think they were going to call it for a bit there, but the foul came through. Head to the line now. This is where you make your money. This is where you got to hit these. Separate yourself in this game.
If you've got a seatbelt at home, put it on, because we're in for a wild finish. With under 8 minutes left in Platt Arena, Huntington leads 66-61, looking for another home win in the Crossroads League. Preston Husband, Luke Pulver back on the call in just a minute. Inside Platt Arena, just over 7 minutes remaining between these two sides, separated by only 25 minutes. These two sides really are not too fond of one another, and we've seen that here tonight with Cushenberry and Sparks going back and forth early in the game, but that's part of it. You don't want to love your conference opponents, and that's definitely something that you could say these two teams are lacking.
And especially, we're as close as we are, we're pulling from the same areas here. So there's recruiting, there's play battle. It's great.
Goodline knocks down the first. He's now 2 of 3 from the line on the night. Goodline up to 13 now, also 7 assists. He had 26 points and 7 assists the first matchup between these two sides, and shot 10 of 13 from the field. Tries to finish off both free throws and does. Forrester's back up 6. Excuse me, now a 7-point advantage, 68-61 on the scoreboard. Already just 19 on the shot clock. St. Francis not sure what they want to do. They give it to Northern, to Burke, to Bailey. He drives in, flips it to Northern, up and under, but Pulver rips it out of bounds.
Yeah, St. Francis did everything they needed to. They had us scrambling all over the floor. Great makeup play there by Hank.
Pulver is not someone that's going to go out and give you 25 a night. We know that. He is a 1,000-point scorer. But tonight, 2 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, and can really help on the defensive end. As speaking of that side, Hummerkaus gets a steal but gives it straight away to McKeeman, who finishes. Tough break there for the Foresters as one turnover leads to another and an easy basket for the Cougars. 7 minutes left, HU up 5. Goodline works against the Cougars once again. Sparks corner 3, excuse me, that was Dyer, can't get it. Eyrig keeps it alive. Goodline drives, Cushenberry to the floor, and Goodline to the hoop.
I don't think he knew where he was going. He found himself in another universe there.
Zach Goodline with a little shake and bake there has the Foresters back ahead by 7. McKeeman inside, spins and blocked by Eyrig, and that should belong to the Foresters, and it does.
I tell you what, the most impressive thing about the Foresters tonight is the bench production. All game we've been getting production throughout, 4 or 5 deep on the bench.
Henry Eyrig with another defensive stop. He had the offensive rebound the last possession that led to a Goodline easy lay-in. You see Goodline now working with Hummerkaus. He's working on Northern between the legs to Joel. Dyer drives in all the way to Hummerkaus. It was kicked by Bailey, and that should reset the shot clock to 20. And finally, we will get that change to 20 as Huntington's up 7, now 6 minutes remaining. A back and forth kind of roller coaster game here between these two sides. Huntington looking to make it 4 straight against the Cougars. Goodline driving in on Burke once again. Here's his step back 3 from way downtown!
That looked a little reminiscent of the IWU game there.
We've seen a game winner like that here before as Huntington has their largest lead of the night, now up 10. Burke double team inside Eyrig, another block. Bailey inside to Burke, and Pulver picks up a foul there, unable to keep those hands straight up. But Goodline with 4 fouls, able to come in and play a majority of this second half. He's got 19 and 7 all of a sudden.
Yeah, it shows a lot to his experience and discipline to be out there, they're taking it at him. They're putting him in the post to stay straight up, to not get too physical, and kind of know your limits. You know, that's very smart play by Goodline.
Goodline continues to climb the scoring charts as well. He came into the game 23rd in HU history. He's passed Tyler Shively, who played on those really solid early 2000 teams for Coach Platt back in the day. And Shively actually holds the record for most free throws made in a row. He made 70-some free throws in a row back in the day for the Foresters. And Goodline, who's obviously a tremendous free throw shooter himself, is getting it done from behind the arc here tonight. 4 of 5 from behind the line. Eyrig has it, top of the key, 20 on the shot clock. Sparks back in there, has it now. Double team, Goodline has it. Someone has to be open, but Goodline's gonna slow it down. 10 on the shot clock, ripped away, Northern steal. Goodline shouldn't foul here. Northern through the lane and gets it to go. Those turnovers still keeping St. Francis right in the game as they're back within 6. One team pulls ahead, the other team pulls the rope straight back, and that's what these two sides have done all night. Goodline to Eyrig inside with the advantage, and he's fouled as Burke's gonna pick one up and Eyrig's gonna head to the line.
Yeah, the key down these last 5 minutes here is turnovers and free throws. We're at the line, we gotta hit them. We've had 2 pretty ugly turnovers here in the last stretch of this game. We gotta reel those in. Play smart, disciplined basketball, and pull this thing out.
Coach Alford knows how to recruit shooters, but I was unaware that the Foresters are 15 of 23 from the three-point line here tonight, shooting it at 65%, and it's just something about that confidence in Platt Arena as Coach Lacrosse kind of wants to slow down the pace and draw up some other plays for his side offensively after Eyrig's second free throw. We'll take a short break and be right back inside Platt Arena. You're watching Huntington Hoops on FDN Sports. Hello and welcome back inside Platt Arena. Should be the last long extended break that we have inside the home gym for the Foresters here tonight. I'm Preston Husband alongside Luke Pulver. Huntington on the call so far this year. Luke Pulver's 1-0, looking to make it 2-0 as his brother Hank, a senior here, went over 1,000 points earlier in the year, had a great career at Huntington North, and we've seen him play a lot of big minutes this year and in his career. And right now it's the freshman, Henry Eyrig, who will step up and try to make the second free throw. Eyrig up with it, no good. Humbercals almost get the offensive board, so 2 missed free throws. See if that's costly here tonight for Huntington. Northern back the other way, working on Goodline, still with those 4 fouls. Cushenberry, who's been quiet here as of late. Bailey inside, now to Burke, who's got 21 on the night. McKeeman drives on Sparks through the contact, up and in.
Tough take there by Dan. Not much Lane can do there. Nice physical play. Return the ball over. We're not hitting our free throws. This is not a recipe to win this one here.
You're right, and it's going to have to be one of those games that the Foresters win ugly. They're up to 13 turnovers, but their field goal percentage has kept them in. As I mentioned, 15 made threes on the night. McKeeman tries to finish that three-point play. He can't do it, so both sides missing the freebies. And Huntington stays up 4. Paul almost a little too nonchalant there, able to hold on. Sparks with Cushenberry on him is going to go to work a long ways from the basket. Humbercals has it now to the wing. Jackson Paul, 3-ball, yes!
Another one!
Are you kidding me? Jackson Paul, you talk about someone who hasn't had a big scoring night in a while. Make it 14 for the Cherubusco native.
Yeah, it's something you don't expect out of him this early, having a great game tonight.
76-69, 3:50 left. Good line contact, and Cushenberry may have just picked up the 5th foul on Goodline.
Yeah, looked like it there.
And Goodline does pick up his 5th. He's going to be fouled out and have to head to the bench. His night ends with another tremendous performance, 19 points, 7 assists, 6 of 9 shooting. So Huntington now will have to take care of the ball and make free throws without their best playmaker and scorer in the game.
You know, we said he couldn't get going. He ended up with 19, 7 assists, 6 for 9 from the field, 4 for 5 from the 3. On a tough night for him, he's still a fantastic player in this league.
Cushenberry sends up the first free throw. It's perfect. Cushenberry has been a consistent scorer at St. Francis for a long time now, 21.9 points per game last season. He lost his buddy David Ija, as you mentioned, and that's been a big issue for St. Francis as Cushenberry gets the second, because Ija was one of the best players in the entire conference. He goes to UND, and he's only playing about 12 minutes per game, so not only did he leave and not get as many minutes, but St. Francis loses one of their best players. Humbercals through the lane, able to keep that pivot foot down over the defender, can't score, gets his own rebound, and finishes the second time. McKeeman pushing the pace as Northern's back in there, Jackson Paul defending. Joel Dyer out there as well, see if Huntington can finish this game with their All-American point guard on the bench. Pulver, good defense once again, has St. Francis late in the shot clock, 10 on it. Cushenberry, Burke, now Northern, 6 on the shot clock. Burke, top of the key, 3, perfect!
Yeah, that's a big 3 there for them. Down 7, pulled to 4. Burke is having a fantastic night all around.
Burke up to 24 now, 7 rebounds, 7 of 12 from the field. He's really found his offensive groove here in his second year. This is someone that came in last year. Zane Burke as a freshman, played 32 games with 3 starts, only averaged 5.7 points per game. He's boosted that up by 10 points per game this season and continues to arguably be the most consistent player. We know who the best player is for St. Francis, but the most consistent player this year as far as shooting it from 3, the free throw line and the field. He's a great rebounder, averaging right around 6 per game. He has 7 tonight.
Yep. St. Francis shooting almost 74% from the free throw line. Huntington coming in at 44.4%. Pay attention to that coming down this stretch here. That's where you win and lose your games.
Coach Alford talks about home success, and if you look at the Alfords this season. Nevada is yet to lose a game at home, and Huntington's 11-2 at home. So I told him, you know, you and your dad are 23-2 at home this season. He smirked and said, we'll take that. So they try to move the 10 games over 500 here tonight, and he actually told me he likes winning on the road better because you're not expected to go on the road and win, but so far this year they've done that as well, as they're coming off 2 straight road wins and looking to take care of business here tonight in the friendly confines of Platt Arena.
Yeah, this is a good one coming down the stretch here, 4-point game. Full court press here. Huntington needs to handle this. St. Francis will trap off the dribble after they get past half court probably.
Jackson Paul in there controlling most of the ball handling right now. Joel Dyer, Hummerkaus, and Hank Pulver. It's going to be a long 3 minutes for the Foresters without Goodline. Hummerkaus has it now to Joel Dyer. He's going to drive in, send up through the lane, can't go. Pulver almost tips it in, and St. Francis grabs the board back the other way. Cushenberry wants to slow it down, and Burke will take it in between the circles. Dyer playing good defense on the much bigger Burke. Doesn't want to reach right now as he continues to go to work. Inside, easy lay-in from Bailey.
We're kind of falling apart here towards the end of this game. Got to get back on track. Not much time left.
Huntington needs to hold on to this one. It could come down to holding on to the ball and knock it down free throws. As Paul and Hummerkaus try to work 2-man game, now Pulver has it. Dyer getting a ton of minutes tonight, has it left wing. Hummerkaus is going to hand it to Sparks. He almost loses, swatted on the arm. Pulver's got to go in, flips up a shot, gets it to go! Big shot by Hank Pulver.
Great to see there.
Pulver's been quiet all night, but it matters when you make the shots. 1:30 left, 4-point advantage for the Foresters. Burke back to work, open lane, sends it up over Dwyer, can't get it to go, and Hank grabs the rebound. Huntington maybe a chance to take this last swing and put this one away with a big basket. It might be Sparks who does it through the lane. Left hand finish!
That's 2 lefties back to back.
Like to see them on a pitching staff. The Southpaw's getting it done. 6-point lead, 1 minute remaining. McKeeman to Northern, thinks about a long 3. Again thinks about it, and Pulver picks up a foul right around the free throw line, and Northern will head to the line.
At this rate, he's one of the guys you want at the line, only 50% from the line. There's a lot of pressure right now. We'll see how the young player handles us here. These are big free throws.
Northern, the freshman, has had a great night tonight. 18 points, but 2 of 4 from the line. Sends up the first, gets it. Just 59.8 ticks left. And once again, the Foresters trying to close out another close one at home. Northern trying to make it 2 for 2 from the line and make it a 4-point game, which he does.
Those are big free throws there.
St. Francis still doesn't need to foul. They could get 2 stops here in a row. Finally into Wilson, now Sparks has it. Double comes, Sparks holds on up to Dyer, over to Hummerkaus, and Dyer able to get the loose ball again, and Coach Alford settles things down with the timeout as he points to his forehead, tells the Australian to think, and he's going to calm his guys down. Coach Alford, very calm and composed typically throughout the games, but right there, his heart rate had to be through the roof, Luke.
I would say so. That's tough to see from the coach. He had the right idea. You know, Bailey played that perfect. He knew where he wanted to go, jumped up, got a deflection. Smart play by the junior there. If he doesn't get that deflection, it's a 6-point game off a Ben Hummerkaus dunk, and this is starting to get a little too far for St. Francis.
Yeah, Hummerkaus had a wide open lane, but probably still not the pass you want to see from your 5'8" guard off the bench. As you know, this game's really been a tale of runs. It's so back and forth. Right now it feels like Huntington has a grip on it, but anytime one of these teams really grabs control, the other team pulls back. A little game of tug-of-war here between these two sides. And Huntington with a 4-point lead. Coach Alford wants to draw up a good set and give them a chance to extend this one more time. But you talk about Hank Palmer, obviously your brother, but as a player here tonight, he's had a slow night. We'll both admit that. But when it counts, 2 for 5 from the field, he makes a big basket on the run. And then Sparks, another guy who really struggled to start the game, he's now 7 of 17 with 15 points and 11 rebounds as well.
One of the biggest things Hank brings to the court is he's able to guard 1 through 5. In the tight flat area, Hank often got challenged with guarding Cushionberry, and he's almost an entire foot taller than him.
Set goes to Paul, and now a holding foul. We'll see which player it goes on. It's going to go on Cushionberry, as he's not pleased with that one. It's his third. And Huntington's going to be able to go to the free throw line and now shoot still. Well, I guess it still is 1 and 1. So the lefty Sparks will toe the line and see if he can try to close this one out for the Foresters.
You got to hit these here, separate the game even more.
Sparks sends up the first, and it is pure.
There it is. That's what we need. We might be at 50% by now, but not quite where we want to be, but need to hit them here.
5 of 10 so far on the night, so you're spot on. Make it 6 of 11 as Sparks makes them both. 2-possession game, 48 seconds left. Huntington trying to close out their 7th straight win. Burke and Cushionberry, 2-man game. Cushionberry, tough step back 3 is blocked, and Sparks with his 12th board of the night is going to go back to the line.
Jackson Pohl played that beautifully. If you watch film on Cush, if you just watch him play in person, his first move is to the right. He sat on that right hip, had nowhere to go, forced him in a tough step back. Taller player got the block there.
Perfect description there, Luke, as Jackson Pohl has been a huge piece to this victory here tonight if Huntington can close it out. Sparks now shooting 2 from the line, sends up the first, it's good again, and Huntington stretches that lead to 7. Sparks now up to 18, trying to catch his backcourt buddy, Zach Goodline. He does make both, and now both of those guys have 19 points, combining for 39 points on the year, make it 38 tonight. Cushionberry coast to coast to Burke, nothing there. McKeeman 3 from the corner, and a rebound by Joel Dyer is going to close things out. The Huntington Foresters are going to win their 7th straight game and their 4th straight against the St. Francis Cougars, and they do so in a hard-fought battle inside of Platt Arena.
Great game, great effort from Huntington. Things were tough there, fought through the adversity. The bench players tonight told the story. Great to see coming up with conference play.
There's the final horn as the handshakes are going to happen here in front of us between the Cougars and the Foresters. Huntington comes out slow, but they finish strong. They've won 7 straight, make it 4 straight against the Cougars, and this team is flying high right now as they continue to chop wood inside the Crossroads League. We'll take a short break. We will hopefully have Coach Alford joining us, as once again his backcourt combines for nearly 40, and they take down another foe within the league. We'll be right back after this short break on FDN Sports.
see you, Audrey. Those arrows right in front of me and yelling over the top. took 2 layups, 60s every. That's nice. First
Back inside Platt Arena, still waiting for the arrival of Coach Corey Alford, Preston Husband, Luke Pulver. A good game here tonight, 86-78 win for the Foresters. They were in a back and forth battle all night long. It was a roller coaster. It felt like you were at a theme park, you know, your fast pass at Cedar Point tonight. But Huntington somehow found a way to win this one, in not the prettiest fashion, but at the end of the day, it's another win in the column, and Huntington comes out, plays a great game here tonight. The bench production was stellar, Luke, and the Foresters are just rolling right now.
Yep, they are. Yep, well said, well said.
So many good things as Coach Corey Alford has now made his way out, so we will get him on the headset really quick. We know you're waiting in your living rooms and your cars at home, and he'll join us on the headset here as his team is coming off their 7th straight win. The Foresters rolling right now, and especially at home. They moved to 12-2 at home. Coach Alford on the headset. He forgets about us sometime, but it's all good. He's a busy guy.
My bad.
It's all good. So we've got Coach Alford here. Another win against St. Francis. Now 4 straight against the Cougars. Obviously a slow start. What'd your team do to get back into that game?
Yeah, it was just a gutty win. I thought it was a team effort, a game where Landon struggled, and it's a game where they've got mismatches. They're a lot smaller than we are, and so in game 1 at their place, I thought we did a good job going inside. And tonight they did a much better job keeping us away from that. They ran a lot of good stuff off ball and exploited us. And so we didn't play Landon much in the second half, less about him and more just about the matchups defensively. But I thought our bench guards, man, really stepped up. Joel, Jackson, Mitch, all played extremely well. I think they went combined 9 for 11 from 3. And bench scoring is something we've talked about all year. So to have them step up late, too, when Zach fouled out, I thought we got better as a team today, and that was the goal.
Coach, this is probably a game, I think you would agree, earlier in the year that you might not come away with because your defense was struggling, but now you've turned that corner. You're the 5th best defensive team as far as points against in the conference right now. What changed following that Grace game here at home and has now led to this 7-game win streak?
Yeah, I think it's just a confidence thing. The guys have seen what happens when we do guard and string together stops, but I think it's very similar feel to the Taylor game earlier in the year. Just a strange vibe to it. Weren't clicking to start the game, got down big. But you're right, the difference is we were able to kind of string together enough stops and have different guys step up, make shots on a night where Lane and Zach didn't have their A game. Lane still goes and gets a double-double. Zach makes huge shots, especially in the second half. Was able to play through the foul trouble for the most part before he fouled out late. But just really happy with the entire team effort, and you're exactly right. That's growth from earlier in the year, and that's what we want to see.
Final question, Coach. You got Mount Vernon coming in here, senior day. What are you looking to go at during that matchup between Mount Vernon here at home?
I think they may have won earlier today, but very good team, hard team to guard. They run great stuff, and they've got high-skilled players. So going to be a good test for our defense, but we've got to take care of home and be a great day to honor Hank Pulver, who I think got his 500th rebound, already got 1,000 points earlier this year. So send him out of Platte Arena on a good note.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. We'll talk to you on Saturday.
Thanks, Preston.
All right, we'll get Luke back on the headset here, and we'll finish this broadcast up as Huntington wins their 7th straight game, their 4th straight against the Cougars. Huntington rolling right now as they have locked up a home game for the Crossroads League tournament. So even though it's senior day for Hank Pulver on Saturday, not his last home game inside Platte Arena. For the broadcast crew, I'm Preston Husband, Luke Pulver. It's been another good edition of Foresters basketball on FDN Sports. We will see you on Saturday.
Chop wood.